Can I get every achievement in? Bioshock starts with you in a plane falling out the sky and landing in the sea. After then escaping from the fiery wreck of the plane, we then find ourselves in the underwater city of Rapture. Now in Rapture, we have to start exploring and trying to work out what the hell is going on here. Whilst doing this, we begin to gain some abilities. The first of these is to be able to fire electricity out of our hand. This opens up the opportunity for the first achievement in this game for us. This is Toaster in the Tub, and to get this you have to shock an enemy in the water. Whilst continuing to explore Rapture, we come across our first big brother and little sister. These are by far two of the most iconic characters from the first Bioshock game, and we can see the true amount of damage that these can do together. All of this is going on in the bottom layer of Rapture. We need to start to progress through it. The next obvious area to get to is the medical pavilion, and we're eventually able to escape to there. By getting to this location, we unlock the achievement, Completed Welcome to Rapture. A key component to Bioshock is hacking. There are many turrets, cameras and safes located throughout Rapture that you can hack to use for yourself. The process of hacking in this game is a little minigame like this. This time I hacked a security bot, which is a little mobile turret that will follow you around and attack anyone that attacks you. For doing this, I got the achievement Hacked a Security Bot, as well as one for successfully completing my first hack. Following this, you'll then get an achievement for the first time that you hack any of the remaining things that you can hack in this game. The first of these is a vending machine. Next is a turret. A camera. And a safe. Eventually you will have hacked so much that you'll unlock the achievement Skilled Hacker for hacking 50 things. Unfortunately I missed a recording of this, but it's an achievement that you pick up pretty easily. Eventually we come up against our first boss of the game, and this is Dr. Steinman. Fortunately this isn't the hardest boss in the world, as he doesn't really possess anything special other than a gun. Up to this point I haven't mentioned it yet, but I'm playing this game on Survivor with Vector tanks removed. This makes the game significantly harder, as it's the hardest difficulty, meaning enemies take more damage and deal more damage, and also there's no autosaves or ability to heal up for free. This means I'm quick saving quite regularly, just so I don't have to come back and do a whole portion of the game again. But if you're playing on a much easier difficulty, you probably won't struggle. Going into this fight, I'd hacked a turret prior, so this made it much easier for me. And eventually, after doing enough damage, you'll get the achievement Defeated Dr. Steinman for killing him. At this point in the game, you can now start fighting Big Daddies. These are by far some of the hardest enemies throughout the main game, just as they appear quite frequently and do a shit ton of damage. Especially early on when you haven't got particularly good weapons or they're not upgraded, these can become quite difficult encounters. However, they are incredibly necessary to do. Whenever you kill a Big Daddy, you get the opportunity to either harvest or rescue the little sister. If you're not a complete psychopath, I don't know why you wouldn't rescue them, because that's what I did throughout the whole game. When you rescue them, you'll also then get Adam, which you can then use in one of the shops later on in the game. When you then find a Gatherer's Garden, you can then use this Adam to buy certain items, including tonics and other upgrades. If you use this to buy a plasmid slot, you'll unlock the achievement Bought One Slot. As you continue to progress through Rapture, you'll then discover a camera. This is where another bulk of the achievements come from. Using the camera, you can take pictures of all the enemy types in the game, and as you take more and more, you'll get upgrades associated to them. There is then an achievement related to fully researching each of these enemy types. This means that it's necessary to take as many pictures as humanly possible, as these are all missable achievements. Using this camera, we can then take our first picture of a slicer and get an achievement.
Spiders.
Following this, we can now start taking a load of photos and getting a bunch of achievements. The first of these is quality research photo for taking a picture and getting an A grade. When you take pictures, the better picture you get, the better grade you get, which also gives you more research points. If you can catch a photo of someone in an action or on fire or something like that, you'll get more points. So when you do this for the first time, the achievement will unlock. Now it's to get all of the achievements for fully researching all of the enemy types. The first of these was the Leadhead Splicers, a Thuggish Splicer, a Spider Slicer, Eventually, you'll then take a photo of every single research group. It's also important to take into consideration that you have to take pictures of cameras and turrets as well, as you can upgrade the research points on these too. When you've managed to do this, you'll unlock the achievement Prolific Photographer. And now back to fully researching each of the enemies. The next one is the Houdini Splicers, the Big Daddy type Bouncer, the Nitro Splicer, the Big Daddy type Rosie, and finally a little sister. This also got me the achievement Research PhD for fully researching every enemy type. Unfortunately, at this point, another one of my recordings went missing and seemed to have corrupted. This is for defeating the boss Peach Wilkins. This is a bit of a different fight, and I'm annoyed that I'm missing the footage. In this, you have no weapons, but there's a couple of turrets around, so you can use your abilities to hack these and basically take them down. Once killed, you'll then unlock the achievement Defeated Peach Wilkins. When exploring Rapture, you'll be able to find Power to the People machines. You can use this to upgrade weapons. These are essential to find, especially in Survivor, as upgrading your weapons makes the game a whole lot easier. There are 2 upgrades for every weapon, and when you've upgraded one of the weapons twice, you'll unlock the achievement Upgraded a Weapon. In Rapture, you'll also come across You-Invent machines. These, as simple as it sounds, enable you to invent items. Basically, within this, you can invent medkits and ammo and things like that. You do this by looting areas, finding objects, and then you can use them directly here. When you do this for the first time, you'll get the achievement Basic Inventor. Making sure to kill all the big daddies you come up against means that you're able to pick up a good amount of Adam. This means that when you're next able to get to a Gatherer's Garden, you're able to do some good upgrades. One of these is fully upgrading one of the tracks. This could be for your plasmids or some of your other abilities. But when you do this, you'll get the achievement Maxed 1 Track. There's an area of Rapture called the Forest that needs to be cleared of this deadly toxin that's been fired out. This is to be able to successfully navigate to the next area of Rapture. To do this, you have to get a bunch of items together and then head to this office and pull a lever. Once you pull this lever, it will clear the area of the forest and you'll be able to progress to the next area.
Then head over to Rolling Hills and get the boxes there.
Within the You-Invent vending machines, there are many different ammo types. They all require different types of materials and objects that you can loot to build. Some of these weapon and ammo types are definitely better than others, but it's handy to have them all in case you just run out of ammo at any point in time. When you've managed to invent every single ammo type, you'll then unlock the achievement Ammo Inventor. The names of the achievements within this game really are not very creative. Although there are many missable achievements in Bioshock, the most annoying one to me is Lucky Winner. This is because it's purely RNG and there's no way to cheese it or anything. To get this achievement, you just have to get a jackpot in one of the slot machines. The best way to do this, in my opinion, is to get up to $500, as this is the maximum amount of money that you can hold in this game. From here, just go to one of the slot machines, save before you do, and then just rinse it. Hopefully, at this point, you'll have won the jackpot. If not, just reload the save and have another go. Eventually, you will get it and you'll unlock the achievement Lucky Winner, as well as $500. It's now time to fully upgrade my second weapon at the Power to the People upgrade station. This will then unlock the achievement Fully Upgrade 2 Weapons. There's a character within Bioshock called Xander Cohen. You have to complete his masterpiece to be able to progress to the next area of Rapture. To do this, you have to kill 3 people in the area, take a picture of their corpse, and then put it into this masterpiece. Unfortunately, it's not as simple as just killing them, as they'll run around the area and you'll get attacked by other things such as enemies and turrets. Eventually, though, you'll be able to kill them. Then take this photo that you've just taken to the main stage and put it in the photo frame. This will then unlock this achievement. From here, Sander Cohen will then come down the stairs, but whatever you do not kill him, as you have to kill him later on in the game for another couple of achievements. And for the third time, we get the opportunity to fully upgrade another weapon. We then get to the main office of Andrew Ryan. Andrew Ryan's someone that's been speaking to us throughout the entire game, and you're sort of given the illusion that he's in control of everything. This turns out to not quite be true. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this aspect of the game, as this is the main story, and I think it's probably better experienced if you don't get it spoiled beforehand. However, the bit that I'm going to spoil is the next achievement, and you get that for killing Andrew Ryan, but I'm not going to go into any more detail about it. Scattered around Rapture are many tonics that are just on desks or hidden away. You can also buy these and invent them in the vending machines scattered around Rapture too. There are loads of these and they give you many different abilities and upgrades to your current abilities. These are essential to collect, especially towards the end of the game where it does get quite difficult. The achievement linked to this is to collect 53 of these. Seems like a lot, but there are a lot more than 53, so don't worry about missing some here and there. Once you do this, you'll unlock the achievement Tonic Collector. Once again, we get the opportunity to upgrade another weapon fully. This unlocks the achievements for fully upgraded weapons. Now it's time to get the two achievements that are related to letting Sander Cohen survive earlier on in the game. In a certain area of Rapture, you'll find yourself surrounded by apartments. One of these apartments are owned by Sander Cohen. When you go inside this area to loot around, Sander Cohen will then appear. You now have the opportunity to kill him.
It turns its tail.
Once you've killed Sander Cohen, you now have the opportunity to take a picture of his corpse. This unlocks the achievement Irony. On Sander's body, you'll also find a key. This takes you to his private suite. To get here, you just have to go into the door that he came out of. When you get to the top of these stairs, you'll then unlock the achievement Found Cohen's Room. At some point throughout your journey, you get possessed by Fontaine's mind control. This sounds much worse than it actually is. Whilst this is occurring, it basically means that you have no control over your plasmids. These are your abilities that you can use on your left hand. They will then cycle every 40 seconds or so, which can make some of the encounters that you have during this period quite difficult. This is due to the fact that you can't use your electricity whenever you want to stun a turret or anything like that, so you have to be smart with how you play. Eventually, you'll find yourself in a lab where there's Lot 192, which will reverse the effects of this mind control. This will then unlock the achievement Break Fontaine's Mind Control.
Now you are having freedom.
It's time once again to upgrade another weapon. This is the penultimate weapon and you'll unlock the achievement Fully Upgrade 5 Weapons. Now we're getting towards the end of the game, we're killing Big Daddies pretty frequently, meaning we're building up quite a lot of Adam. This means that we're able to use the vending machines to upgrade our abilities and pick up more slots to be able to use more at one time. Eventually, you'll have purchased every slot in all 4 plasmid and tonic tracks, which will then unlock you the achievement Maxed Out All Tracks. As we're coming up to the final few bits of this game, it's now the perfect opportunity to fully upgrade the final weapon. As mentioned previously, these are some of the most important upgrades to get throughout the game, as it makes it much easier. Even like the pistol fully upgraded is so much stronger than just the standard pistol, and if you're still using it at this point, you're not really going to be killing anyone, especially on Survivor. When you do this, you'll then get the achievement Weapon Specialist. Bioshock does have a collectible within this game. These are audio logs. They explain a bit more of the lore and are scattered all over the place. There are 123 of these in total throughout the game, and to get the achievement Historian, you need to get every single one of them. I think it's pretty impossible to do this if you don't have a guide, but there are some very good ones that basically tell you exactly where you need to go to get them. Fortunately, if you miss any of them, you can go back in New Game Plus and pick them up, which is a pain, but it means that you don't have to just start all over again. Once you've picked up the final one, the achievement will then pop. In the final area of the game, you'll then come up against your final Big Daddy. Obviously, he'll be walking around the area with his little sister, just chilling. As you can see from this clip, with all the upgraded weapons and my experience of playing the game up to this point, they're no longer the super hard enemy that I experienced at the beginning of the game. I found that using the rocket launcher was probably the easiest way to take these down, as it just does a lot of damage and you can hide behind some cover as you reload and then pop out and fire it again. When you kill it, once again, you then get the opportunity to harvest or rescue this little sister. As I'd rescued every little sister up to this point, I continued the trend and then got the achievement Dealt with Every Little Sister for harvesting or rescuing every single one. At this point in the story, you need to become a big daddy yourself. To do this, you have to get your armor up together, a voice changer, and then finally the helmet. These are all located around these labs where they create the big daddies. When you find the helmet and put it over your head, you'll unlock the achievement, Become a Big Daddy.
Yes. Now this is it.
You'll now come to an area which is the super stereotypical area before the final boss. Loads of vending machines and resources that you can stock up on your ammo, health, everything you might need for a final fight. One of these vending machines will be the You Invent vending machine. This is when I realised that I hadn't yet unlocked the achievement Avid Inventor. To get this, you have to invent 100 items. Fortunately, going to it and inventing a couple of things, the achievement unlocked, which is just perfect timing in my opinion. This is now the final boss fight, and it's against someone called Atlas. You start the fight by walking up to Atlas and injecting him with some Adam. From here, you then just have to fight him and do as much damage as possible. However, this fight is broken up into 4 different stages. The first time it's just against Atlas, so it's pretty straightforward, and once you do, you then inject him once again. The second time is very similar, but it's a little bit different, as this time he has turrets. This can work in your favour though, as you can hack up to 2 of them, so make sure to electrocute them and then hack them, as they'll do damage for you and distract him. And then the final time, there'll be splicers that are attacking you too. Thankfully, once again, you can use one of your plasmids to mind control them and get them to attack Atlas too. You can stack this on top of the turrets too, so you can be very distracted whilst also taking a good amount of damage. Although this is the case, the mind control doesn't last forever, so just be aware of what's going on, because you can easily get trapped or take more damage than you think you actually are. If you'll manage to survive against all this carnage and keep an eye on your health, your mana, his health, all the enemies, the turrets, everything, you'll finally do enough damage to kill him. He'll then disappear and go to the station where you need to use the final bit of Adam to finally finish him off. You will then get rescued by the Little Sisters, and this finishes the game of Bioshock. This is where I then unlocked a whole lot of achievements due to the difficulty that I was playing on and some of the restrictions. These were defeated Atlas for finishing the game, a man chooses for beating the game on survivor difficulty. I chose the impossible for completing the game on survivor difficulty without using a Vita chamber, brass balls for completing the game on hard difficulty without using a Vita chamber, seriously good at this for completing the game on the hardest difficulty setting, and Little Sister Savior for completing the game without harvesting any Little Sisters.
They offered you this city.
I had never played a Bioshock game before playing this one, so it was a bit of a new experience for me. I'd heard great things about this series for many years, and I thought, you know what, now is a perfect opportunity to play it. And to be honest, everything that I'd heard about it was very, very true. The story's amazing, the gameplay's good fun, the setting is unbelievable, and it's just a really, really good game. If you've never played it before, I'd 100% recommend it, as it's well worth the time. I would say, probably from my experience, I wouldn't do it the way that I did it on playing it on Survivor and going through all the collectibles and stuff like that, just because it did take away from the story a little bit, as I was focusing on making sure that I wasn't missing any of the things related to achievements, and also making sure that I was saving enough so that I didn't miss whole sections if I died. Even though that is the case, I still had a great time. If you've made it this far in the video, I really, really appreciate it. And if you can like, subscribe, and share it with anyone you know, I'd also really appreciate that too. Going forward, if you've got any recommendations on games I should play, please let me know, as I'm always looking for recommendations and just games to play in different genres and stuff, maybe ones that I've not even heard of. But once again, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.